All right. Hey, this is your super quickie crow pose. As always, should you get upside down, you should get upside down if it feels good, if it's something you've done before and you like being upside down, especially when you're pregnant. If you're not pregnant, this is just a how-to of how to do it. If you are pregnant and all those things are check, 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 and everything feels good, do it. If you've never gotten upside down before and you're pregnant, this is not the one to do. Skip it, go to the next thing. And if you are pregnant and you have gotten upside down before, but it doesn't feel good to you, or it's worrisome, scary, it makes you feel unsafe, absolutely don't do it. Why? Plenty of time to do that later. So this is what we do for crow pose. It's one of the simpler inversions. Face is really close to the ground. You're really close to the ground. So it's a little bit safer, a little bit easier. What we really need to work on is just trusting those fingers. We're going to be shifting weight forward into the fingers. A lot of us kind of stay back, hunching around. We want to go nice and wide and trust those fingertips, almost like you're palming the basketball, pressing into the fingertips. That's where we want to be. So for crow pose, it's almost as if you're in a frog squat. So for me, I'm going to go really wide. Baby is in the way. Otherwise, you're just going to start with feet hip width distance. You're going to plant your hands down shoulder width distance and use them just like you were to do a chaturanga. So instead of letting the elbows buckle out, you're going to roll them in and point them backwards. So they're pointed towards your legs, right? You're going to bend deep into the elbows and also bend deep into the knees. The knees go all the way up on your triceps, right? All the way up, as high on the triceps as they can get. For some of us, there's not that availability, so you can take the knees right outside of the triceps. That's super helpful because then you're actually squeezing the arms in, which is what we want to do anyway. So naturally, when we get upside down, the elbows point out, they buckle out, and we collapse into the chest. We want to be the exact opposite. Scoop everything in, widen and forward. So really wide forward fold, or feet hip width forward fold, depending on where your belly is at. Elbows bend back and pull towards each other. Knees as high up on the triceps as they go. So the heels are already off the ground. You're already near balancing. So right now we tend to want to look down, right? Because we want to see our hands. But as you can tell, I'm about to go down. So instead I want to look way forward, pull my heart way forward, and then just start shifting. Into my fingers, they get active. Out of my fingers. Into my fingers, they get active. Out of my fingers. So I'm just noticing what my body's doing. Squeeze your elbows and get into your fingers. Once that feels good, maybe you lift one foot up and put it down. Maybe you lift the other foot up and put it down. If that's where you are, you keep working and then notice if everything's dropping. And if that's the case, come back, give the wrists a break, always, and restart. So we need a lot of wrist here and we also need a lot of belly. So let's not forget about that belly. We'll reset. Hands shoulder width distance, elbows squeeze in and point back, knees up onto the triceps or right outside of the triceps. Gaze forward, widen the heart, go for one foot up. If that works, maybe other foot up. Good. Squeeze heels in, heart forward, heels to the butt for 3, for 2, and just rock back. Whew, and that was it. That's your crow pose. So you're rocking into the fingers and back. Palms are on the ground, but we want a lot of the weight out of the wrist, right? So we're not dumping back so the fingers can lift. We're so far forward, the fingers have to grab the earth. Belly is going to go straight up while heart drags straight forward. The closer you can get your heels to the butt, the better. And really think elbows and elbows and elbows and elbows in. Even if you're there for half a second, you know what? You did it. You were there for half a second. And then you start working on more time. If you need a second to stretch your wrist, do it. One more time all together. Arms, hands, shoulder width distance, legs as wide as you need for that baby. Elbows bend, they squeeze. Gaze goes forward right away. Get yourself set. Knee tricep, knee tricep. Weight into the fingers, gaze forward, pull the heart forward right away. One toe up, maybe the other toe up, maybe not. Heels lift, heart forward, press into the fingers for 3. Belly up, squeeze the elbows for 2. 1, all the way down. You did it. Maybe take a moment in a frog squat, slow your breath down. Maybe take a moment in a child's pose. Maybe take a moment, release your wrist, or maybe go for it again a couple more times. If things get really scary and you still feel like the floor is too far away, another sneaky trick is placing a block, maybe even a pillow, right there in between your hands. So it'll go up in between the hands, but in front of the fingertips. So as you're shifting forward, the ground seems a lot closer. It seems way less scary, right? The ground is now like that far away from my face rather than that good 6 inches. Do what feels good for you, play around. And again, if you're pregnant and this is something you're used to doing, you like doing, do it. If it feels safe. If it's not something that you've done before you're pregnant, or if it's something that you don't feel comfortable doing, please don't do it. There's no reason to. You got the rest of your life to get upside down. That's it. I will see you later. Bye.